And then what happens oftentimes is step 4, which is illumination. Say that. Illumination. We call this the AaHa. Say that. AaHa. You know, you're riding home and you're thinking about something, you go, oh, I don't agree with that, and you keep playing with it, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I never saw it that way. I mean, I remember the guy who used to teach the class, and I worked the back of the room, and oftentimes, you know, we'd ride to lunch, and he'd tell me different things, and I think, this boy's delusional. I mean, where does he come up with this stuff? Does he really believe this, you know? And he, like, I don't watch the news. It's like, you don't watch the news? He said, too much negativity. He said, all I notice is I'm in a room every week with a lot of really good people who are looking to change. It seems like the world has a lot of hope in it. And I used to think that was kind of delusional, like he had the blinders on. But the truth is, he chose his reality. He chose his own reality. And it's really funny, now I find myself doing the same things. And oftentimes the things he said to me 2 or 3 years later would be like, wow, that's what he was talking about. I never saw it from that perspective. Anybody ever heard the term snake oil salesman? Snake oil salesman is an older term about someone who's coming in and selling you something that you really don't need. It used to be lectures and things like that. And it seemed like a really good idea that you would be wary of snake oil salesmen because they could sell you something you really didn't need. But there's a lesson that's much greater than that. It's the idea that if you're clear about who you are and what you need, there are no such things as snake oil salesmen because you know you don't need your product. The reason we fear snake oil salesmen is we're afraid we're going to get in a circumstance where we don't have the courage to make our own decisions. Now, the downside of that is the more we're afraid of ourselves, the more we think the world is a snake oil salesman. And so all information looks like manipulation. And so we never get the AaHa because we stop it at the door. We never let it in. We never let it resonate. We never sit with it. So we never get to decide whether it fits us or not. Not that everything's going to fit us, because it isn't. But if we're clear that we have the ability to make good decisions, we can let anything in because we aren't going to be manipulated by anything. See, that's the whole idea of this work. When you're clear about who you are, where you stand, and what you're about, then you can allow all diversity to be around you. And you can see the AaHas in what they have to say.